There we go. Woo. You know, in the spring when the bass are spawning, it's my favorite time to go flipping because there's a lot of fish up shallow. You know, that's a perfect example. That's probably a male right there, but there's a lot of big fish up here too. And a lot of times during the spring, I'll put this guy back. A lot of times during the spring, you got a lot of submerged cover. You know, it could be terrestrial. Like today, I'm fishing these bushes here that just got flooded, and the fish just absolutely love to get in there. And there's no better way than flipping and pitching for getting these fish out of this cover. If I'm fishing flooded brush or wood like I'm doing today, one of the keys is using fluorocarbon line, and I don't use any lighter than 20-pound test vicious fluorocarbon, but today I'm using 25. There's really no reason not to go up to 25. You know, you can really stand the risk of breaking off these fish in this cover. But the reason that fluorocarbon is the line of choice is because fluorocarbon is a lot more smooth. It goes through the cover a whole lot better. It doesn't want to dig into that soft wood, which braid does quite often. So that's the reason that I like fishing fluorocarbon versus braid in this heavy cover. That was textbook. Holy cow. I mean, that thing just looked too good. Whenever you find a piece of standing timber like that, or sorry, lay down on a bank like this leading into a spawning pocket, perfect situation for flipping up a fish. And that proves it right there. Put her back. You know, there's a lot of different baits out there that you can use for flipping during the spring, and there's essentially 3 different styles of baits that I like to use during this time of year. And today I'm using a tube, a little flipping tube, which works really good in clear water, has a really nice glide to it. But if I'm faced with a little bit dirtier water, I like a palmetto bugs or a flapping craws. Those 2 baits are really good. They've got a lot of action to them, and well, at least the flapping craws does. The palmetto bugs is a little bit more subtle. It does have some appendages that move quite a bit, but the main thing that imitates is bluegills, and bluegills are something that you really want to match when you're fishing during the spring, because the bass really hate bluegills during the spring because they raid the nest, take the eggs, and so I like to stick with things that look just like those cradle robbers. One of the things about fishing in the spring is I really like fishing hard cover, and it could be hard vegetated cover too, like reeds or bulrushes. Those type of cover, they generally are on harder bottom, but more importantly, the fish like to bed around harder cover, you know, like a stump or a lay down. Those type of things the bass really like to bed on because it enables them to protect the bed a little bit more efficiently. They don't necessarily have to protect 360 degrees. They just have to protect what's in front of that cover. So I always like fishing hard cover. And another reason for that is that the females really like rubbing against wood to be able to loosen up those eggs and get ready for the spawn. As far as the setup goes for flipping during the spring, it's the same as pretty much all the flipping that I do. I have a 7.5 foot heavy action rod, a pretty standard flipping stick. I use a high-speed gear ratio reel. Anything above 7.0 to 1 gear ratio works really good. I like to have real heavy line, obviously. We talked about that. 25-pound test fluorocarbon is really good. That's what I'm using today. But if you're fishing around vegetation, switch over to braid. I like to use 50 to 65-pound braid for this light flipping that I'm doing. And then, of course, use a heavy gauge wire hook. I like to use an EWG hook, heavy gauge wire. That's really important. And then a 1/4 ounce to 1/2 ounce tungsten weight pegged to the line. There's a lot of different colors of tungsten weights that you can use. Today I'm using silver just to get a little bit of flash, and that's the setup. Real simple, but it is one of the most effective tactics out there, and you're gonna love catching fish in this heavy cover during the spring. For more tips, go to sweetwaterfishingtv.com. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can ask us any questions on our Sweetwater blog, and we'll answer them there. So take care.